Hey there, are you trying to find out how to do a professional looking photo shoot for a fashion brand? I'm Jody Jan and I'm an independent designer here in New York City, and today I'm going to go over how to do a photo shoot for a fashion brand. Today I'm giving the secret sauce on how to conduct a professional photo shoot. I will be giving you 5 tips on how to conduct a successful photo shoot, whether you have a shoestring budget or you have some extra pocket change. I will be providing a downloadable package of checklists and contract templates that you will need in the description box of this video. Before we begin, you need to know there's 3 types of photo shoots. The first is e-commerce and lookbook. These consist of product shots, whether it's a ghost mannequin or a live model. The second one is lifestyle. These are for campaigns and also to illustrate your brand messaging and who your customers are. The third one is the fun one. It's for social media, and these are really fun because they are a lot more relaxed and they are used for brand awareness on social media platforms. So you need to know what type of photo shoot you will be doing. Here's tip number 1, preparation. So in preparation, you need to storyboard what the photo shoot is about. Determine where to shoot. What are the outfits that you're shooting? What are the poses that you're doing and the mood of the photo shoot? Plan the time that you will need for each photo. Don't wing it, because you're gonna waste so much time trying to plan the photo shoot, scrambling and losing time instead of shooting. How we do storyboarding is we use Google Slides. We are looking to use Milanote, and if you want to know more about that, we will do another video in the future. Now to break everything down to details. If you're not shooting e-com, scout for location. When you're scouting for locations, make sure to look at the photography policies. Just know that shooting in public places have photography policies that you need to be aware of. A lot of places that you think are public shooting spots might not be. It might be a private place that you will require a permit, and you need to look online to see what the permit policies are. In most indoor places that are private, they have an on-peak and off-peak hours. So when you are shooting, know what the hours operations are. Make sure that you shoot within the off-peak hours and not during the peak hours. Also, do not assume that because you're shooting off-peak hours, you could get your shot, because some of these places will have very tight security that will enforce their photography policies. So how I found out about permits is I did a photo shoot once in a New York subway system, and I had the cops called on me. The cops were nice enough to let me shoot and told me that I could not use a tripod. So just be aware of what the policies are in public spaces. Don't assume that it's a public space that you can shoot randomly, because you can't. You do need permits that you need to look at. You need to look online to see what the policies are. If you are shooting a smaller scale photo shoot, here is the website you can go to find out whether you need a permit or not. The most important thing of a photo shoot is plan your outfit down to the very minuscule details. Select the piece that you're showcasing and what the look will be for the outfit. Ideally, when you're casting a model, you could call them in to try your outfit to make sure that the look is what you want and the fit is what you need it to be, without having to pin and clip during the photo shoot. If you don't have the model coming in, at least put in a dress form to get the look that you want. If you have neither the model or dress form, lay out the look on the table to see if it's what you want. You want to leave the extra time that you'll save for styling to allow the model to do actual modeling for the photography part. If you're an established brand or designer, you could set up an account with showrooms to borrow accessories for your styling your photo shoot. Map out each pose and shot that you want for a quick and efficient photo shoot. Showing the models the poses you would like to shoot will get better results than asking the model to just model without the context of the shot you're looking to achieve. Plan out the time that you need to allocate for each shot, so you do not run too long in getting one shot that will not work despite all that you try. You will either run out of time, not get the shot that you want, and be totally frustrated with the photo shoot. However much you prepare, just consider that Murphy's Law, shit happens. If you don't get the shot because of people, because of security, move on. Don't get too flustered if the shot does not work. Tip number 2, make sure you pack a photo shoot kit. In the photo shoot kit, you need to make sure that you have undergarment that matches the outfit, nip it for coverage in case something is sheer and I don't want the bra undergarment to show, double-sided tape in case I need to secure something, binder clips in case something is loose and not fitting the way I want, lint rollers to make sure that all the garments do not have anything sticking on it, safety pins, a pair of snippers to cut any loose threads that are hanging in any garment, and last but not at least, is needle and thread. Tip number 3, your team. Having a good structured team is essential to a successful photo shoot. You of course need the model. Unless you're a big brand with an unlimited budget, casting the model should not be breaking the bank. So here's some ways to find a model if you are on a shoestring budget. Post an ad on Craigslist. Go to Model Mayhem to find a model. See if there's anyone in your family that you could shoot with. Ask friends if they know someone they could refer to, or look into Instagram for aspiring models that are looking to build their portfolio. If you do have some extra pocket change, you could go work with a smaller model agency. Make sure that if you are working with models that you cultivate relationships with them, because you never know when you would want to shoot with them again. When casting a model, do not overpromise something you cannot deliver. Don't be too rigid in your guidelines of casting a model. If you are good in styling and the photographer is good, you will get a very good photo shoot product. Do not plan to do a photo shoot with more than one model unless you have experience or a larger crew. Now for the photographer, you need to decide what your budget is for hiring a photographer. Depending on your budget, you could go with a more expensive photographer that has his own studio, or if you use a more amateur photographer, they might not have a studio, so you might have to rent out a separate studio. To consider that when you are hiring a photographer. If you are running on a shoestring budget, try to find a friend that's good at photography and try to work with them. Don't get too wrapped up in who the photographer is. You will be directing the photo shoot anyway. You just need someone that knows how to use a camera and how to frame a photo. A lot of it can be done in post-editing. If you are operating on a shoestring budget, you could ask the model photographer to work for Trade for Pics. For those of you who do not know what Trade for Pics is, it's basically the model and photographer will work for free or at a very reduced cost for their own use or their own portfolio. This should be written out in a contract, so this way everyone is on the same page and nothing is misunderstood. If you're doing a big photo shoot, I recommend you hire a stylist. In most cases, if you're there and you have a good team, you don't need a stylist. If you're working with a stylist, be clear about the vision and what kind of photo shoot it is. Let the stylist prepare a storyboard for you to review. Work out what the budget is for the stylist and for the loan, from props to accessories. When working with a stylist, find out if they work with showrooms or do they need a budget to buy and return. I don't suggest a buy and return policy because you could get in trouble for that. When hiring hair and makeup, try to find someone who can do both. Be honest with the person with the looks that you want to achieve. Give them a storyboard of the concept that you want to do, from hair to makeup. If possible, ask the person to come in to do a trial so you know that the work is good. In case of lifestyle shots for social media, you can ask the model to do their own hair and makeup. Usually the model will do a good job. They know what looks best on them. Whenever possible, build a relationship with hair and makeup artists. These are people that are very rare to find who are good. For your crew, try to keep it small, especially if you're shooting a lifestyle or social media photo shoot. Try to have a team of only 3 people if you're shooting outdoors. If you're shooting at a studio, try not to have more than 5 people. Your crew should consist of a styling assistant, so this way you can keep track of all the looks and the time for each shot. Your styling assistant should help you keep track of the checklist of all the looks that you want to get, from the outfit all the way down to the accessories and poses. Your styling assistant should double check the checklist after each outfit change to make sure you pack all the pieces belonging to the outfit. You do not want to miss the accessories, especially if they are long. They will also be the time manager and the time tracker to make sure that you are on track with each shot. Ideally, you should have a second assistant to help you with the behind the scenes videography rather than setting up a tripod. This way you could get a lot more motion for your social media platform. Tip number 4, paperwork. I know that it's the least favorite thing to do in a photo shoot, but you need to know what it is. Besides the storyboard, you will need a checklist. This will ensure what you will pack and what you need to repack after the photo shoot. Definitely don't let the team leave without double checking that you have everything. You need a photographer release. This way you're clear about the usage of the photos, who has the copyright of the photos, and what the budget is that's agreed upon with the photo shoot. Be clear about the usage of the photos in your contract. Otherwise, you might incur additional charges from the photographer for improper usage of the photos, or you might get a lawsuit for improper use of the photos. If you are casting the model independent of an agency, make sure that you are aware that you need to get a model release. The model release will outline what the scope of work is, what the photos will be used for, and the payment terms. If you're doing a risque photo shoot, make sure that you have the model's consent and it's written out in the model release form. Be clear about that and make sure the model signs it. Additional people that you will need contracts for our stylist if you have one, and the hair and makeup artist. It will list out the scope of work the person is responsible for and the payment term. I cannot emphasize this enough. You need to have contracts with the photographer, with the model, with the stylist, and whoever else you're working with, just to make sure that everyone's on the same page and there are no surprises. Next thing you will need is the call sheet. The call sheet will list out all the details of the photo shoot from the time that it starts to the time it ends. It will also let everyone know who is involved with the photo shoot and what their roles are. This way everyone is prepared and on the same page on the day of the photo shoot. Be clear on what the breaks are and if food or catering is provided. And tip number 5, retouching. Typically after a photo shoot, you will get contact sheets from a photographer. Contact sheets are basically all the pictures that you have taken, either given to you in a hard drive or a downloadable version from the internet. Contact sheets should be given to you by the photographer within 1 to 2 days after the photo shoot, and they should be in JPEGs or in RAWs. You will select all the pictures that you want to use. Depending on the photographer, they could do the retouching as part of the package. A basic retouching package from a photographer will include blemish correction. This will include cleaning up the backdrop, removing dust, and smoothing the skin of the model. If you need something more, then you should discuss it with your photographer. It might include an extra charge. Make sure that the charge is put into the contract. Be clear about how many pictures you can select, so this way the photographer could give you the right price in the package. If you are not clear, you might incur extra charges after the photo shoot, especially in retouching. The retouchings will take about 1 to 2 weeks, depending on how fast the photographer works and how many selects you've done. If the retouching cannot be done by the photographer, then you have other options. Hopefully you can do the retouching, or you know someone that could do the retouching in your team. If not, you could go look for someone at Fiverr, or you can use the service called RetouchUp. If you are using either services, make sure that you write clear and concise notes for the retoucher. I will provide the link to both in the description box below. Don't post the pictures as is. If you're doing e-com, you need to make sure that you get it edited because you want the pictures to look consistent with the lighting. The worst thing about using unedited pictures is that it might look cheap if you don't edit it right. There's no point in spending money and the time to do a professional photo shoot to have the outcome come out poorly. So that's the secret sauce of doing a professional looking photo shoot. I hope you learned a few things. As promised, I'm giving you a downloadable package of contract, template, and checklist to conduct a successful photo shoot. So look for it in the description below. If you like this video and you want to learn more about secret sauces of the fashion industry, leave a comment below on what you would like to learn. Subscribe to this channel and I will provide you with more secret sauces. I hope you enjoyed this video. Like and subscribe, and I will see you again. Bye.